Hi, welcome to my video blog today where I'm going to be grappling with the subject of being psychic. I've been wanting to address this topic for a while because I find that the word psychic is incredibly loaded. You think psychic and you think neon sign, palm readings, charlatan, probably just nobody goes. Who goes? How do they pay the rent on those places? Like nobody goes, right? And at the same time, like on the other spectrum, you think, well, this is like a superpower. Being psychic is, very few gifted, special people have this power. So I wanted to really take a look at what being psychic actually is. My personal interest in it was that I do Mayan calendar readings, and I'm also I study depth psychology. So the word psyche is very related to being psychic, and I noticed my hesitancy to own being a psychic being, even though my moon in Pisces can hardly deny that, this is the realm I move most comfortably in, the watery psychic realm. But when I've had to advertise myself about when I do my Mayan calendar readings, I'm very hesitant to say that I'm psychic or things like that I work in a psychic way. When I know that I really wouldn't have to if people really knew what the word meant. So this is why I was interested in talking about this. So the word psychic comes from the word psyche, which means soul. And really, it's how did this come to be that it's now looked at like you're basically a charlatan? And, the world of the soul is really basically about looking at things symbolically. That's not looking at them literally. Not just thinking, okay, someone paid, I don't know how much money for this pot of plants right here to have this, but, what is this bringing to our conversation? It's bringing some earth and some water and aliveness, and this means I want to keep the conversation juicy, and I want to have feedback from you, and when I think about where it got lost, this tradition of looking at things symbolically and having myths and folklore informing our lives and divination and everything, I think of the witches, the burning of the witches and how, people were persecuted, not only women, but a lot of women who read nature. Basically, they read nature. They were open to, what the signs were, what day was good to do this, what plants were good for healing certain things. And then later, much later in the 1500s and stuff, we have, late 1400s, we have the conquistas and lots of indigenous who also have these practices being killed. So what we see is whether you're indigenous from North or South America, the indigenous of Europe were also witches, and also very much, in Siberia and all that, that's where shamans come from. So we have this very, this layer of indigenous psychic people who really connect to their surroundings, to tune in to how they're going to be in the world and what they're going to do and who they're going to relate to and what they're going to be up to that day. And then all of a sudden we have these people who are killing and persecuting these people for saying these things or believing these things. And so I think that's led to, nowadays we have a world that's, Joseph Campbell, other people have written about how the symbol is dead and, things don't mean anything anymore. And it's no coincidence that power plants are illegal in most places. So we have peyote, ayahuasca, a lot of people doing ceremonies seeking this meaning in their life, this connection. We have a lot of people interested in doing herbal remedies, and the FDA doesn't approve it. We have, chemically derived, or we have derivatives that are legal that are made in labs and stuff, but the FDA is like not legalizing the actual herb. And so the message that's sending out is like, you're supposed to hide to do these things. Like, this is not the right thing. This is there's something wrong with this. Even though, and then these big companies are making money and lobbying to get their lab derivative legal and making lots of money off of their insurance and stuff. And then, you have the people who then are called hippies or progressives or leftists who are really just returning to much more greater harmony of being in harmony with all and listening to all. This is the key, is that they're supposedly the healthy ones who are controlling and having power over everything. I'm reclaiming the word psychic as of today, because the problem is it's not something that some of us have. It's something we all have inside of us. And that is a connection to truth, because there is something that is truth, which is a connection to all beings. And that's not about, it's not a dogma. It's not based on dogma. It's not based on this is what I believe and this is what that. It's not based on egos. It's just based on truth, which is listening and being in tune and honoring all that is. And when we're in tune with that, then we're better able to see the little power plays or dynamics or things that start to happen. And just be aware. And I have a lot of, I myself, I hear this and I know I have a lot of, it's, yeah, we live in a world where there's iPhones and there's Wi-Fi everywhere and airplanes, and it's so important to stay connected to this. And that's why I love the Mayan calendar, and it's definitely a tool to take some time, like the Sabbath or whatever you want to call it, where you don't have these media, and you just tune in to all that is, and the rhythm of the water, and how long it takes for it to deteriorate as stone and for it to become sand, and for these enormous cycles to take place. And yes, how big it feels, the one cycle that we have here on earth, and yes, the worth and the dignity of it, and to use it in service of the all, and not get caught up in just it makes me sad. I feel sad when I get caught up in wanting to publish at a certain quickness, because yay, I'm like the author who did that. I only want to be of service, and I get these ideas that I get attached to ideas of who I'm going to be or who I'm going to become or what I'm supposed to do or become. And it's a constant letting go, and it's like we always have to be acknowledging and observing ourselves and letting go. And thanks for being here today. Please let me know your thoughts. It would mean so much to me to feel connected to you and hear you and honor you. Blessings. Ciao.